Prince Arthur and Queen Victoria, the golden boy who could do no wrong, aka Mummy's favourite soldier. Welcome back to Past People, where royal children are either wildly overpraised or ruthlessly roasted. And today's subject, Prince Arthur, Queen Victoria's third son and her absolute favourite. Arthur was the one child who could apparently do no wrong. Where Bertie was scolded, Alfred was ignored, and Leopold was smothered, Arthur was praised to the heavens in letter after letter. Why? Because he was exactly what Victoria wanted in a son. Disciplined, military-minded, dutiful, and blessedly unscandalous. This is the story of Arthur's letters with Queen Victoria, the polite, slightly smug correspondence of the son who was basically the Victorian equivalent of a teacher's pet. Born to be a soldier. Prince Arthur William Patrick Albert was born in 1850, Victoria's seventh child. By this point the Queen was running out of patience and names, but Arthur, he was the golden child she didn't know she needed. Victoria's letters about him are full of shockingly warm praise. My darling Arthur is so good, so gentle, so charming. He is unlike his brother Bertie. Translation: finally, a son who won't ruin my mood. Arthur decides early on that he wants a military career, and Victoria is delighted. She loved the army, uniforms, and the concept of duty. Plus, a son who's too busy drilling soldiers has no time for theatre scandals or actresses. Mummy's military obsession. Arthur joins the army at just 16. Most kids at that age are sulking in the corner. Arthur's out here polishing sabres and writing home like, "Dearest Mama, the drills go well. I am proud to serve." Victoria writes back, "My precious darling, you bring honour to your father's memory." She compares him endlessly to Prince Albert, which is basically the ultimate royal compliment. Meanwhile, poor Bertie, future Edward VII, is probably reading these letters like, "Cool, love that for him. Guess I'll go be scolded again." The Canadian chapter. One of Arthur's most interesting gigs was as Governor-General of Canada in the 1870s and 1880s. Now, Victoria's letters during this period are fascinating because they combine motherly pride with micromanagement. Be sure you are properly dressed. Do not allow the Canadians to think you are informal. Do not eat too quickly at public banquets. And remember, the French Canadians require careful handling, but do not over-smile. Arthur, ever the diplomat, responds with politeness and updates about ceremonies, ice skating, and generally not causing scandals. He quickly becomes popular in Canada, partly because he was charming and partly because he wasn't a nightmare like some of his siblings. The letters of a mother's pride. The letters between Victoria and Arthur are unusually affectionate for a woman who could scold someone for breathing incorrectly. She writes things like, "You are my greatest comfort, Arthur. Your conduct pleases me more than words can say." Imagine Bertie reading that, crying in his cigar. Arthur is also one of the few kids who actually writes back promptly. He's respectful, measured, and gives her all the updates she craves. No drama, no gossip, no emotional meltdowns. It's honestly a little boring. But for Queen Victoria, boring meant safe. The perfect son gets a life. Arthur eventually marries Princess Louise Margaret of Prussia, a neat, sensible match that Victoria fully approves of. No scandals, no awkward dowries, no actress mistresses. Victoria writes, "I am so pleased you have chosen wisely. Your bride is most proper." Arthur? Probably just relieved that his wedding didn't cause a single headline. His marriage is happy enough. He has 3 kids, he continues his military career, he rises to the rank of field marshal, he sits on councils, he does everything right. He's basically the IKEA instruction manual of royal sons, Functional, sturdy, nothing missing. The Golden Legacy. After Queen Victoria's death in 1901, Arthur continues his public service under Edward VII and George V. He remains one of the most respected royals of his generation. He lives a long life, dying in 1942 at the age of 91, making him one of the longest-lived of Victoria's children. And what do his letters tell us? That sometimes the quiet, reliable child gets the least dramatic story, but maybe the happiest one. Arthur's correspondence shows a man who knew his place, did his job, and kept both the monarchy and his mother proud. Bertie, still fuming in the afterlife. So here's to Prince Arthur, Queen Victoria's golden boy, the military prince, and the rare royal child who didn't require constant crisis management. He wrote polite letters, he avoided drama, he made Canada love him, and he somehow lived to 91 despite being born into a family that thrived on stress. Sometimes the quiet ones really do win. You're watching Past People. Until next time, write your mum a letter, but maybe don't set the bar this high.